Welcome back to the channel. On this episode we're going to go buy a new car. Well, it's an old car, but it's French and it's the only French car I've ever thought of owning. Stay tuned. So in this episode I am looking at buying my dream French car. Now, French cars haven't always been top of my list. There's a few Peugeots, Citroens, Renaults, Bugattis that pique the interest. But this car is quite special and epic. Came up on Facebook Marketplace a week ago. I saw it, I messaged, and I don't like buying cars on Facebook Marketplace, but it came up. The guy called me, we had a conversation. I offered to pay a deposit just to take it down because I couldn't get to him for a week and a half. And he gratefully took it down, so I didn't want anybody else seeing it. So it's pretty special, but we're not gonna go pick up a car with no trailer. And if I'm going to use a trailer, it's going to be a Woodford trailer. And we've got the Raceliner 5000, which means that when I have bought it, we can get it back to base in its privacy, so nobody knows what it is, because it's going to get a lot of photos. It is pretty special. Scoot, you're excited, and you weren't even born when this came out. So yeah, let's get on the road. Thank you to Woodford for this enclosed trailer experience. It's got all the bells and whistles, pretty epic. Let's go. So when we talk about French cars, which has impassioned a lot of people on my Instagram and Facebook, I kind of think like my favourite ones are the DS, the 205 GTI, Renault 5, Alpina GTA, Alpines. In general, the Alpines are brilliant cars. We've got the empty trailer, Kev. We've come here with an empty trailer. Normally when you turn up with a trailer, it means you've got an intent to buy. If you were to buy your dream French car, I don't know why, like if you had dream Italian cars, there'd be loads of them. What would Kevin's, and he's the old boy from the unit that has worked on cars and motorsport since the 70s, what would be your dream French car?
I'm glad you said old.
Yeah.
Because yes, going back through the ages, the 205 GTI would be the French car that I would buy.
Oh, a little hot hatch.
Yeah, because it was a really good car in its day. Rallying, won various rally championships and everything. I think it was a very good car. Guys
that are watching, hit us in the comments. While you're watching this, you can go to the comments and tell us what your dream French car. We're just going to walk through these gates now. We're looking for rust. We're looking to make sure the engine doesn't need a load of work. You kind of know what you're looking for. We're going to look at the paperwork, the chassis numbers. It's been off the road since 2018, since the last MOT. Where's it been?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that this is sat in a field under a cover. I've been told it's been in a barn, so I want to look for any kind of rust, obviously.
We need to know if all the chassis numbers and everything
matches up. From this angle, look what we're walking into.
Yeah.
It's a yard. You're on the mic. Morning, Ricky. Thank you for this. Thank you for taking it down on Facebook.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
As I said earlier, I messaged Ricky. We got talking. I was like, just call me, please, and like, take this down as soon as possible. And what, you followed the channel, you knew about Petrolheadonism?
Basically, obviously my dad's got a Sierra.
Yeah.
You put an award on it before.
Oh really?
Yeah, you've done the blue V8 one.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I know him, yeah, I'll go, yeah, put the stuff. Been to a few of the shows, you know. So.
Yeah. What I've come to see is behind there, so something special and French is behind those doors. But we've walked in and there's a HF Turbo that you've got for sale as well.
Yep, that's right.
And my phone's ringing already because I've sent some pictures to somebody of this and I've got a call already. All right, so that was Paul, and he wants a bit more information about the Lancia HF Turbo. So that has come from the same collection as
the other cars, yeah.
So what's happened?
Basically, caught an eye of a car.
Right.
Caught my eye. I've done a bit more digging, who owns it, etc. Spoke to the guy, this was a few years ago, wasn't ready to sell. I then spoke to him again, he said, yes, I'm ready to sell. He said, I've also got some other cars.
Oh, right.
I was like, right, I'm interested now. What have you got? Old Fords, lovely, bit of me. Straight down, bought all the collection he had. I've sold the other cars that I had. I've got this left and this lovely little French car that's behind them doors.
Just spoken to Paul. I've got friends with these as well, Anthony at Auto Sportivo. And we can get this sold for you. I know we can get this sold for you. So
lovely.
Let's see what happens with the HF Turbo. But it's time to open the doors to the little French car. Without saying what it is, Ricky, if you were to buy your dream French car, Like, what is your dream? Because it's only like a handful to choose from, isn't there?
There is.
What would it be? Would it be this or something else?
It would definitely be what's behind them doors.
Oh, wow. Okay. How long you had this now?
I've not had it very long, to be honest. Not had it very long at all.
Are you ready? For those of you that guessed it, it is a Renault 5. And it's a bit of a special Renault 5. So, what I know already from the listing, it's a 300 brake horsepower, Turbo Technics built.
Yep.
Rear seat delete, full on, road legal, track car.
That's correct.
Anything else you could tell me about it before we dig into it and get it up on the ramp and everything else?
Only obviously the extras it's got on it with the big brake that was made specially by High Spec. They're quite a local company and they made them specially for it. It's really had a lot of time and effort put into it.
So this hasn't been on the road since 2018 was the last MOT?
Yeah, that's correct. Well, when I put it up on the ramp, the wheels are so close to the top of the struts, I thought that it needs a little spaces on it. It's just a couple of little...
Just to bring it away, I can see like they're quite kind of set in,
It's just quite tight. If you used to put your hand behind the back of the wheel there, you can feel it. It's very tight to the shop.
Right.
It's probably only a couple of thou.
Do you know from the owner when this car was built? And I think there's been comments on Facebook saying who built the car.
So when I put this car up, phone rang straight away. My mate Darren is big in the car scene. I've known him for a long time. He's like, I know you used to own that car. He said, I can't believe you've got that. That is the man's pride and joy. He has put his heart and soul into that car. It was built early 90s, I believe.
Right. So pre-Max Power era.
Yeah, it's pre-Max Power era, yeah. I think he put so much love into it that he didn't use it.
Scoot, like this is way before you were born, but what do you think of it?
I love it. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, it's just like what you see on the video games, the really old rally stuff, and I think because what I like about it is I know nothing about it, but I can already tell, I can already appreciate it.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my mic off. I'm going to mic up Kevin. Right, Ricky and Kevin are going to walk around it. Did you say there is a ramp here?
There is a ramp, yeah, it's on a ramp.
Right, okay. Right, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is my dream French car. You said Peugeot 205 1.9 GTI.
I did, yeah.
For me, the only French car I've ever actually wanted to own is a Renault 5 GT Turbo.
The car does look quite nice. It does look what it is, but I have my doubts. I thought the Renault 5 turbos had proper wheel arches, and to me it doesn't look like it's a proper, it looks like it's a made up one. Getting back to what you said a few minutes ago, the guy put a lot of effort in building this car.
Yep.
And what he's put into it is his life and his, but I may be totally wrong, and I'd certainly have to look hard at the numbers and the chassis numbers and,
yes, correct.
And find out really.
So a big question, as Kevin just pointed out, is what is the car essentially? We're going to look at the chassis number, etc., look at the paperwork, and we want to know, was this a Renault 5 GT Turbo that's been built to look like this, or is it a standard Renault 5 two-door body that's been built and made to look like this? One thing definitely you need to do is run a car vertical report on any car you ever purchase. You can even run a car vertical report on a car that's on your driveway right now that you bought 6 months ago, just to check if it is exactly what it says it is. We've put the number plate into this and it's brought up the VIN number, which we're going to check to the paperwork. It's petrol 1988 car, and we've got green ticks all the way. So the odometer looks good, financial and legal status looks good, damage looks good. And as you go into the report, we can see where the mileage, obviously it started being recorded at that point there, 90,134 miles. We can look into more information, we can look into legal and financial. There's no outstanding finance on it, and there's no damage ever recorded on this car. So everything Ricky has said in terms of this was built by an enthusiast and was his pride and joy, everything we can see here stacks up. What we need to look into now is just match up that number plate, that VIN number to the paperwork as we start going through it. Back over to you, Kevin, to check it out. I've kind of learned over the years and a lot of mistakes. That Datsun 240Z, big mistake, lost a lot of money, don't want to do that again. But when you go check out a car, you want to check out it hasn't been running before you get there, because one of the tricks is run it, get it warm, so when it starts, it's on the button. You've said this is on the button anyway, and
I'll tell you what I usually check.
Go on.
Just for, obviously, metal, you can start a car and it'll still be cold, but the oil don't never lie. So if you pull the oil, the oil's cold.
There.
Then you know.
Can't do that on an EV though, can you? I want to be the one to start it, I guess. Have you seen in here, Scoot? Look at the centre console. It's roll caged up into the bucket seats. All right, I'm gonna have to jack it up a little bit because I'm short and Italian. He's right, it's on the button. Here we go, Rick is going to demonstrate what 300 horsepower turbo technic still sounds like. So far, this is all of the goods. Right, Kev, Ricky's got it up on the ramp for us, service lift, so we can have a look underneath and stuff. What's your thoughts?
It is a solid car. There's not a massive amount of rust underneath, which I'm quite surprised about, being an 89 car or a 90. Let's face it, in those years, they tended to rot out faster than they actually went down the road.
We've got a whole folder of history and the build and information about what it's gone through.
So it has been looked after.
There. So it is a real Renault 5 GT Turbo. It's not a Renault Le Car that's made to look like this. It is a fully spec Turbo Technics 300 brake horsepower build, but we will get that dynoed once we've got the P1 fuels running in it, because we're going to go for 102 RON, and that's the only thing this will run on. And we're going to get it over to Pennings, because I think Matt might be interested in buying into it with me.
Like I said, EBC brakes will get hold of this and they'll make a massive improvement on the brakes, because I don't believe these brake discs at the front should be this large and bulky.
Cool.
And you'll be able to turn it around. And I think the handbrake, the other side's a bit iffy. So again, EBC brakes will sort all that out.
I don't like talking money on camera. I think it's crass to talk figures and stuff. I've made you an offer. Where are you on that?
If I could have the calipers back, if you're not going to use them.
Well, we're going to put EBC brakes on it. They've got
if you're going to go EBC brakes, then obviously the high spec calipers will come in great use to myself on my other car.
So you're saying you're happy at my price if you get those back?
I'll take your price if I say if I can
I'll give you discs,
back.
just the calipers, disc calipers?
Disc and calipers is fine,
I'll give you the whole set back.
Yeah.
And, do you like Mike Brewer and Chip Foose?
Yeah.
Right, so weekend tickets for Nebworth.
Lovely.
You'll see the car on display there in whatever situation it's in. Hold out your hand.
Thank you
amazing. Right, she's coming home with us. Let's get her loaded. Renault 5 GT Turbo loaded up in our Woodford trailer, Raceliner 5000. Time to shut the gull-wing doors. Never turn up with an empty trailer. I think it's an obvious sign that you're going to want to buy it, but everything is stacked out. We've got a lot of our partners working with us from a car vertical check confirming it's everything it says it is. Ricky was spot on with all the information he gave me about it. So 2024 has been a big year. We've got some new arrivals to the Petrolheadonism collection. We've got some builds, we've got some projects, so stay tuned. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let us know in the comments what you think we should do to our Renault 5 GT Turbo.